There's always a moment, a fork in the road, where what we choose next really matters. What we say, what we do, what we don't say, what we don't do. We feel our blood pressure rising, where we get triggered, where we find ourselves checking out and maybe reaching a threshold of no longer caring, or maybe just realize that we've now made a mistake that we can't go back on. Whatever this moment is, these are the pivotal moments of our life. They shape everything. They define us. They create the past, the present, and the future. Our relationships, our opportunities, our freedom, our happiness all hinge on these seemingly tiny everyday moments. With enough repetitions, they soon become our life. And yet, I just don't think people are very good with navigating these small moments. I think we get so caught up in survival that we lose sight of what our life is really for. To experience, to give and get, to remember, to forget, to win and lose, to get hurt and to heal, to live and have lived. It's in these moments that we can get blinded by our past, our pain, our beliefs, our fears, our feelings, and we stop seeing the bigger picture. We stop seeing the other person. We may even stop seeing ourselves. We rage, we quit, we fight, we snap, we justify and reframe, we make excuses and we blame and we deflect and we sabotage. Maybe it's in business, or it's at home, or with friends, or at the shops, or on the internet. It just doesn't matter where. We're just constantly at these forks in the road. Some of them are big, some of them are small, but they're all forks nonetheless. It's these moments that I help people choose something else, something different, something seemingly impossible and never been done before, at least for them. And it's in these choices, in these small moments, that we change our fortunes, we change our future, we change our relationship, our health, and our entire lives. But whether we change them for better or worse, it's up to us. These moments, they can be all-consuming. They can be terrifying, confusing, painful, and even uncertain. And I think in our desire to feel better immediately, we often make impulsive choices that ultimately reshape our destiny. Most people, I think, refuse to consider and accept or even allow a different choice at these forks in the road. As we age, those choices, they become automatic. We stop thinking and imagining that things could be any different. Like a well-programmed robot, we just do as we've always done and ultimately get what we've always gotten. But then, of course, we'll complain. We'll mourn and moan about how much our life sucks, all while failing to recognize our own hand in all of it. I think for most people, their path stops being an adventure and quickly becomes a small roundabout. They give up on their dreams, on love, on wealth creation, on purpose, contribution, self-expression. They get angry, they get bitter, resigned, and cynical. And the truth is, I've been there. I got the t-shirt. I lost sight of my own adventure and found myself stuck in loops that weren't creating the life that I wanted. But instead of changing it, I just changed my level of acceptance. I started to bargain, to reason and get comfortable with a life I didn't really want. I started to accept my fate, to make it easier on me and everyone else. After all, not changing just felt easier. And if I surrounded myself with other people who also gave up on their adventure, well, that meant we all helped each other escape and avoid the pain of our unrealized dreams. That was until, of course, I remembered. I remembered my abilities, my gifts, my power, my love and trust in self that didn't require other people to give it to me. I remembered that I get to choose, that I get to tell the whole truth even when it's scary and even when it's not considered normal or acceptable to other people. And I think it's in that process of choosing to change rather than being forced into it is where empowerment lives. It's where happiness lives. It's where our self-esteem and confidence are built. We can all wait for life to force us to change, but the truth is we often don't like what we're changed into. Alternatively, we can choose to change, but it's also not free from consequence. We can change the regularly scheduled programming that has become our normal life. We can choose to make a different choice in each of these small moments in life, but will we? For these small moments, they're forks in the road that have choices that change everything, that change whether we speak up or whether we don't, whether we extend our hand or we pull it away, whether we receive with grace or take with contempt, whether we play to win or play to connect, whether we scream out the window or we look longer in the mirror. If you're someone who really wants to change something in your life but is finding it hard, maybe you found yourself repeating the same stuff with the same people and the truth is it just sucks. It's not working. This isn't what you want and yet it just keeps happening. So now what? If you're brave enough to step up, look in the mirror and not look away when you don't like who you see, then maybe I can help you. Maybe I can help you choose something else. Something that would change your life in ways you might dream of, but have ruled out, not because it's impossible, but because you allowed it to become impossible. The moments matter. In fact, they're all we have. This moment right now with me is another one. You can choose to be interrupted by me, reach out and ask for help, or you can reject, you can resist, and you can refuse. You can find someone else. You can do it yourself. It doesn't ultimately matter to me because that choice is yours to make. It's your choice if today is 10,001 of the life you already have, or day one of the life you want. I don't fix or save people. I tried that already. It hurt me, it hurt them, and I learned the hard way that it's just not really a sustainable way to help people. I also don't try to change people, force them, or threaten them with judgment or punishment. It was done to me, and I hated it. I don't sell strategies. I don't validate identities or endlessly comfort the wounded anymore. While they have a time and place, they can also give the illusion of healing, which soon becomes a new mask to hide behind. My work is about becoming free to play again, to become free from the labels, hats, and rules that you've chosen to apply to yourself, to no longer need all the armor, swords, and shields to ultimately protect you from you. The point of me helping people is to tell the truth. The point of me helping people to tell the truth is about simplicity. It's not about adding another label to their identity or creating a new testament to preach from. What I do is hold up a mirror. I provide a space to listen to you in a way that you may have never been listened to before. I'll ask you questions that may feel very hard and deeply personal. And you may notice yourself feeling confronted by a thought or a feeling that the question pulls out of you. This is the work of facing parts of you that you've been able to hide, deflect, or avoid for a long time. I help people look in the mirror and not pull away when their own reflection scares them. Their reflection that doesn't hide the truth about what you did or didn't do or why you did and didn't do it. It's that space that we meet ourselves fully, where we meet our shame and our fear and our guilt, but we also meet our love, our innocence, and our wonder. I don't think most people can sit with the whole spectrum of another person. They're just too caught up in themselves and their own feelings and emotions and identity. Many therapists and doctors I've been to as a patient have been full of judgments, subtly inserting their own morality and meaning into me. And it's something that I work really hard to step beyond for myself and for those I help. And it's hard. It's really hard. It's been a very rocky path for me. I've lost friendships over it. I've overstepped boundaries. I've lost myself in the process. But I'm committed to being able to sit with others in the mess they've made and love them anyway. Because the truth is that that's what I want to need. Learning to love myself. And I'm not talking about honoring my feelings or enforcing my boundaries type of self-love, but the kind of self-love that still loves me when parts of me demand that I shouldn't. Being able to look beyond my fears and my mistakes and my feelings and still see the good in me. It's felt near impossible sometimes, but it's that practice that allows me to hold the mirror up for others when they struggle to hold it up for themselves. Being able to truly see the good in ourselves again instead of filling the void with positive self-talk is in short supply. I found that when the whole truth is told, well, that's when transformation occurs. Not by me, but by the person who's able and willing to tell the truth despite how hard it is. And I think that's why most people cry when they come clean. Tears are not weakness, but the price of finally telling the truth. So if I can be a helper for you to finally speak the truth about you, to you, then maybe you'll give yourself more options to choose when you're faced with a familiar fork in the road. I'm not a guru. I didn't want to be a therapist, a guide, or even a coach. I consider myself an ally, a friend, an investor in people. I feel like I'm more a brutally honest signpost than I am some agent of change. I just try to appear at the fork in the road and make sure people are being fully honest about which path they're actually choosing so they can live with that choice tomorrow and not just survive it today. I think if more people in the world were able to face themselves fully, to tell the truth to themselves about themselves, express love and compassion and forgiveness, then maybe they'd be able to do that for other people too. Maybe we'd have a better world. A world where people don't need to lie as much because they don't need to. A world with trust because there's nothing to hide or protect at all costs. A world that we're connected through play and not just pain. So what will you do? What will it be? This fork in the road, will you choose to tell the truth now? Tomorrow? Next week? Next year? Never? Whenever you're ready, why not book a time with me? You might just be one question away from changing your life.